Hi, welcome back to Food for Thought. I'm Jennifer Ream.
Hi there, I'm Christine Landel, and Jen and I are sisters and best friends, and we are owners of Vibewell, which is a juice and smoothie bar, acai bowl bar here in Fenton, Michigan, which is where we reside. And so we wear lots of hats and excited to be using this platform to share all the things that we're passionate about. And we're also health coaches, and so we hold a lot of space for our clients and for friends and family in ways that we can share what we've learned over the years and what we have experienced to heal us and to bring us holistic wellness in so many ways.
Yes, so today our topic is about cold and flu season, and we usually do a little prefaces of cold and flu season because a lot of times we find that cold and flu season is fall, winter, but it's also the season of lots of sugar and holidays and maybe drinking or not sleeping well. And so all that things just leads to like a buildup of toxicity in your system. And we just label it cold and flu season. So, but it does legit, I mean, we've been here, actually, I feel like we've been hearing about cold and flu symptoms all summer long. So
Yeah.
This is fall now. And, but it just,
do you want to go down that rabbit hole? My head immediately thinks about all the things that we've been exposed to environmentally.
Right. That's what I mean. Like sometimes when you start to have symptoms and you're like, oh, I'm catching a cold, a lot of times it's like your body just needs to detox, and that's the way of detoxing. So anytime I feel something coming on, I treat it as a detox. Like that's my mindset. My mindset is like, I don't really like say, oh, I'm sick or anything like that, because your words have power. Just say, oh, I'm detoxing, I'm healing my body. And I go into all the things that I do to assist my body in feeling better. So I think that, but every year we've done a podcast on this, we've talked about it before, but it always seems to, the things that we use are always asked about. So I always feel like I actually keep notes so that when somebody asks me, I just copy and paste it and send it off with all the links, because it's like often that we get asked. So I feel like it's just important if this is new to you, or it's always good to revisit it. And also with talking about adding in these links now to this YouTube series that we're doing so that it's fresh here for somebody to, that you could forward on to somebody if they're not feeling well or things like that. So that's kind of the preface and the intention behind today's little chat.
Yeah, and I think that what I always try to tell myself too, in any of these, you can kind of even hear that I had a little, some messages coming up in my body, but that's kind of what I also attribute it to and kind of describe it as, is my body is giving me some signs and some messages right now that it is detoxing or it is needing some immune boosting. And that's kind of how I usually treat it, because especially when I'm like, I haven't been around anyone that is so-called, not feeling well. It just started having some little symptoms of change of weather. They've been spraying the skies a lot, as we know, like with chemtrails, and all of that does contribute to how we're feeling, and everyone's sensitive in their own ways. And so anyway, if you have a runny nose, like if that starts, that's not necessarily like, oh, I'm getting a cold, I caught a germ. It could be just that your body is eliminating something in that way. That's the way it's showing up for you. So like Jen said, words have power. Be really just be in tune with how you talk to yourself, and then really just take it. I think if the number one thing that we could start with is that as soon as you start to have some messages from your body or symptoms, then that's the moment that you take on any of these additional supplements to start increase your immunity and help I always look at it too as I'm helping my immune system out. A lot of times, because we are inundated with toxic chemicals in our environment and products and cleaning supplies and all of those things, that we do need to now help our bodies out a little bit more than we used to in the past. And so a lot of times what happens is it shows up as fatigue. Your body feels really fatigued, and that's your body's way of working a little bit harder too. And then, like the scratchy throat and stuffiness, those are all the initial signs like, okay, I need to get my little supplement toolbox out and start going to town on that. And so the past week even, I just threw the kitchen sink of my favorite supplements, and twice now in the past year, I've been able to quickly get through some of these symptoms, and it's never gotten to any further. So with that said, we'll share some of our favorite things, and a little disclaimer, these are just our favorite things that we have learned over the years that work for us, that we have found through trusted sources that we love to follow and who've done their due diligence, and then in turn we've done our due diligence. I love to try new things and put it to test myself. I have a friend who called it me searching, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a me searcher. Like, I love to research through myself, and so through trying things, and that is how I have come to find some of my favorite products. And I know Jen, same for her, and it's to each their own, and everyone's different. So just kind of see what resonates with you when we talk about this. Something that might pique your interest is your intuition's way of showing you that it's resonating with you.
Okay, so one of our go-to, and we've been doing this for years, is mucocossinum, and that is a homeopathic flu remedy. And usually we'll start taking it in the fall and take it every 2 weeks preventatively. I just ordered a whole new batch of it, send it off to my kids at college and tell them to have it on them. And then if you do feel symptoms coming on, you can take one or a half of one every couple hours as you're starting to feel sick. So that is definitely always in our toolbox. We've always used that. And
I would say it's like a regimen from October to April too, and then obviously anytime else, but every 2 weeks. Did you say that?
Every 2 weeks is usually just take one preventatively under your tongue, and then if you feel something coming on, then you can take one every couple hours just to kind of hyperdose. So love mucocossinum. I would say essential oils are huge. I love frankincense. I treat it as like an antibiotic, to be honest. Anytime I feel something coming on, I put it all along my lymph nodes, and if I have a scratchy throat, I'm adding it all here generously, a generous amount on it, and I do that every couple hours. I swear by frankincense for so many things, but it cold and flu related, I just feel like it is almost like just a natural antibiotic. It just really soaks into your system and takes care of anything that might be going on. So
yeah, my personal experience with frankincense with strep throat, years ago I used to get it often. Like, I must have been a carrier for it, and I would get it often. And so anytime I'd feel it start coming on, I'd see a little spot on my throat, and I'd put frankincense on every hour for a couple of days, and I probably a handful of times kept it off. Within 2 days it was gone. And I don't really get it anymore. I do that with my kids if my kids start to get sore throats or any sort of cold, but I have had amazing healing with frankincense with strep throat. And so obviously that's not something that you mess with if it doesn't go away, but for me, within a couple days, if you do it right away, it goes away.
And you don't want to just get any cheap old frankincense. Like, frankincense is expensive. So like the good stuff is like $80 a bottle. But you have it. It's not something that you have to use every day, but you just have it in your cabinet for when you need it. So we use Young Living. I know some people use doTERRA. I know there's other organic brands out there right now, but you just want to do your due diligence and make sure it's not a watered down essential oil. It needs to be pure and really potent to actually work for you. So
you don't need much either. It's like one little drop, and then you do that. So.
Yeah, I probably am more generous than I need to be, just because I just take it and dab it and make sure it's just really on there really good. But yeah, love frankincense.
Another oil too to have on hand is Digize, and so not only does it give you digestive relief, and that is it's a blended oil, and it's through Young Living, but it gives you digestive relief. But if you have any sort of nausea or stomach cramping, I mean, it's pretty instant too. So that one, when you said generous, it reminded me of how generous I am with the Digize. If I use that, and you just rub it all over your stomach, and the scent is not something that you'd want to wear as a perfume, but it's definitely amazing.
Somebody will definitely smell you if you're going through the grocery store.
If they know, especially if they know Digize smell. But it's still, I like it. I don't mind
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't bother me. I think we're just used to it.
Yeah. So that one for sure. And then like RC or eucalyptus or peppermint is great. Peppermint's so good for nausea too. And also for just putting in your diffuser. Eucalyptus, it's great in your diffuser if you're want to put it in your room if you're not feeling well, because it's great for headaches. It's great for congestion. And if you're not familiar with oils and you've never had a diffuser, it's literally just Google diffuser, but it's literally just a little machine. You put water in and you put your oils in, and it just puts steam into the air with your oils and makes your room smell amazing.
So yeah, that's what we have on. I have on right every single day. Today I think I have Enjoy in there, but Thieves is really good as well for if you feel anything coming on. I like to spray the bottom of my feet with Thieves essential oil spray, and then put my socks on. So just gets into all the nerve endings and just gives you a real good immune boost through the bottom of your feet. So I do love Thieves for that.
And Thieves is so versatile. It has an entire line of products to cleaning products also, and so it's a great cleaning product. We use it at Vibe Well, and so have it on your hand at home to spray down surfaces if you need to. And so that's there's a lot of great ways to use Thieves, and they also have a cough rub that you can put on your chest, and people say to put that on your feet as well if you have a cough. So some great ones to have on hand.
Yes.
So another brand that we love is called Earthly Wellness, and I actually found that years ago by buying their magnesium rub, and it's a lotion that you can put on your legs for at night, and then a few years ago discovered that they have this amazing line of tinctures, and so I would say probably for about 3 or 4 years now, that has been a regimen in our house, and honestly, we can both say that we've watched that one nips it in the bud. So Feel Better Fast is an awesome one. They also have a digest support, which is really, really good. And then Cough Be Gone. So I don't have a cold and flu season around without Cough Be Gone, Feel Better Fast. There's also one for immune support. And so that one's super good. And then they have a chest rub as well with, it's called Breathe Support, I think. And then oh my gosh, I have a lot of their products. If you go on there, see what resonates with you. They have some prenatal things on there too.
Yeah.
That you should probably share with Maddie.
Yeah. They kept getting their emails, but they also, if you get on their email list, they do an amazing deal once in a while where you can get the little samples of all of those for really, really inexpensive, like $5 per little bottle. So when she first told me about them, that's how I ended up ordering it. I ended up getting on there and ordering the bundle. And now I've gone on and reordered, and because I love, like, it's definitely up there with my frankincense, how much I love that. It's potent, so there's certain ones that don't bother me, the taste of it, and the other ones I'm like, holy cow, and I'm plugging my nose.
Yeah,
I'm getting
the immune one is
yeah,
like that,
putting it in the back of my throat, like, just get it down there. But there was a time not too long ago, a few weeks ago, where I felt a scratchy throat coming on, and I was like, oh no. No, we're not going there. So I was just doing my tinctures every couple hours, and the next day I was back to normal.
Yeah.
So I do love that.
And I that's the first thing I say to my kids, and I'll put it all out on the counter in a row. I'm like, did you do Feel Better Fast? Did you do Cough Be Gone? And they're like, yeah, because now it's just routine. Yeah. They start to not feel good. Here's the line of stuff that you need to start doing and to boost your immune system. So it works, and those actually taste really good. I don't mind those too. They also have a thyroid support I've been taking. So there's a lot. The company itself is amazing. It's I feel like it's a husband wife, right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
But anyway, go on and read their story. It's just it's a small business, and it's all these herbs and that they make tinctures from, and literally anything you can think of, there's a tincture on there for. So definitely love that company. The other things I feel like I have on hand and was just taking this week was quercetin and
which is great for allergies.
Yeah. So I was just kind of having whatever you can, vitamin D, obviously I was upping my vitamin D too. So whatever you need to take to, all of those things, that's sometimes for me, it's just standing there and like, what does my body need? And I really just tap into my intuition to think of ask what my body needs. Quercetin's not something I always take, but I heard to take it, so I took it. And so I really just, that's for me how I take a lot of my vitamins and a lot of my supplements, is intuitively asking my body what it needs and then going from there.
And we do need to be on the vitamin D regimen right now. If you're watching this in October, you've got to get it in your system now, because it takes a little bit of time and you want to get that built up as we get to the longer, darker days of Michigan. So now is the time to make sure you're adding vitamin D back in. And then, of course, I always tell my kids, and we always hyperdose vitamin C when we start to feel sick too. So do your research on dosage and things like that. I don't think we should be sharing that probably on here, but I think that if you message us or whatever, we could talk about what we do. But I think, there's definitely some high dose vitamin C regimens that are very powerful for lots of different things. But especially when you are starting to feel sick, I would definitely up it and take more than I normally would take just on a regular daily basis. So, yeah, green tea, organic green tea is definitely a favorite. I like to sip on that if I'm starting to feel not well. And then the other thing that just immediately comes to mind that I always absolutely do is Epsom salt baths with a little bit of essential oils in there too. I'll do that maybe 2 or 3 times a day if I'm not feeling well, just to help detox the body out. And it makes me just feel better, and try to sit in it for like 20 minutes at least. But we should be doing that like once a week anyway, just to help our bodies detox. And but definitely, if you're feeling sick, I highly recommend getting a good Epsom salt with no added fragrance in it. You want something really clean. Whole Foods has a great big bag. Sometimes
Target
Costco
does not.
No, I never been able to find one at Target.
They used to have one, and they haven't in a while. But
Costco
that
did at
Dr.
one
Zeals or
point.
Teals or something.
Yeah, you just don't want that added fragrance in
Yeah.
it. Just add a clean essential oil onto the salts.
I
and
order
then
mine
throw
from
it in.
Amazon now, a big bag and I just
Yeah.
put in organic Epsom salt.
Yeah, so that's one thing to make note of when you're buying that. You don't need to give yourself any added extra toxins from fragrance into your bath when you're trying to detox.
Yeah.
So,
the other
yeah.
thing is the Genexa brand, I think
yes.
is such a great brand to share, which the Genexa was created by a dad who, when he had children, was just like, ooh, I don't want to give my kids Tylenol and Motrin. Motrin's super heavy on our guts and our liver, and so basically he took out the funky stuff out of the over-the-counter medications and created a cleaner version, and we really love that brand.
They have an allergy one. I actually just took it the other day. I've had it, I just don't ever really need it, but my neck was bothering me from working out, and I took the Genexa acetaminophen clean one, and I was telling Alexa, her daughter, yesterday that it really helped and made me feel better. And so I generally don't take stuff like that, but I was very impressed that when I needed to go get a cleaner version of a pain reliever like that over the counter, that there's something available. It used to be available at Rite Aid.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Which
no,
obviously we don't have Rite Aid.
Maybe Walgreens has it now, I don't know.
But you can definitely go online
Yeah.
and get it online. So highly recommend the Genexa, Genexa, which we're gonna put all the links below. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there is anything else.
There is, for sure. We'll continue to share as you need to, as we think about it, just because there's a lot of little things.
Well, obviously nutrition. Hello, it's like, it goes without saying almost.
And I would say sleep is another big one. Sleep
so
and rest.
We always, our go-tos at VibeWell are obviously our immunity bundle, kind of known for that. Like if you do feel something coming on, the Nourish green juice, the alignment juice. And if you buy the immunity bundle, you get the elixir shot for free. So, and that has ginger and turmeric and lemon and just such an amazing little immune booster. So between those 3 juices, you're getting such a powerhouse of nutrition that it will really help boost your immune system and give you some energy. And so I hate to say we kind of just passed over, but that is definitely part of what we do. Is I will go get a Nourish, especially Nourish to me is it tastes so great, but it also just always makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, sipping on broth is another good bone broth. There are some great brands out there, but if you can put a whole chicken in a crock pot with some water, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and garlic, and you put that in, even some fresh veggies, in a crock pot for 8 hours on low, that broth is amazing to sip on when you're not feeling well. It's some protein, collagen, and then just the gut health benefits too.
And you can make it and freeze some. I usually have so much left over because I make a big thing of it. Then you can freeze it. I have some in my freezer right now for next time I need it or feel like we want it. So that's
just a great thing to add to your routine anyways in this winter when it's cold out, and it's just so nourishing for your body. So lots of vitamins and like I said, protein. It's a great source of protein. I just saved a recipe that is this might sound really gross, but it looks amazing. But it was a hot chocolate made from bone broth. Oh, and cacao and coconut.
I feel like I saw that. I heard about it.
Saved it, so I'll be making it. So I think nutrition and making homemade soups and just really making sure that you're staying away from the sugar. So the sugar will suppress your immune system. It is, I think we all know now that it's
the number one culprit.
Yeah, it's a contributor to a lot of disease and inflammation in our body. And obviously, it's when we spike our blood sugar with refined sugar. And we're not talking about fruit or honey, and we're really talking about like refined processed sugar. And so, everybody knows now that it is an immune suppressor. Obviously, sometimes it's hard because you're craving it, especially when you're tired and not feeling well. You sometimes do crave a little bit of carbohydrates. And so make sure you're nourishing your body with the carbohydrates from the earth, and those earthly foods are what are going to give you the nutrition to bounce back quicker from however you may be feeling. So sugar and alcohol are something to really be mindful of. And if you choose to have those things while you're trying to heal your body or get back to your optimal self, just make sure you bless it with a little bit of love and light and try and alchemize it and neutralize it in your body. I love to do that anyways, but just give it a little extra love if you choose to go that way. But it's definitely going to benefit you in a positive way to keep those things for a special occasion, and especially not when you're trying to feel better.
And the last thing I would just add quickly is that if the faster you can jump on this regimen of hyperdosing and doing all the things that we were just talking about, the faster you do that, when you start to feel funky, like when you start to feel something coming on, the faster your body will bounce back. So if you let it linger and you kind of ignore it, then it's gonna take a while to feel better, and things might stay with you for a while. So really just be in tune with your body, and that is paying attention to when you do have the fatigue, like Christine said, or the scratchy throat, or just like you're just like, I just feel off. That's when you do it. That's the time.
Try and get your kids on it. I have a kid who will follow every single thing I say to the T, and I have a kid who will do the complete opposite, and you can watch the difference in how that plays out, exactly like we just said. So one lasts longer and one doesn't, because they're willing to do whatever it takes. So even just with that alone, we've seen it, how it works.
Yeah.
So
okay, let us know. Let us know in the comments if you have any additional tips that are just like what your go-tos are and what works for you. Share them with everybody. Share the love.
If you have any questions, let us know too. Or if you need any additional help with brands, we love to do our research on good brands, and so we're happy to share those too.
All right, till next time.
Bye.
Bye.